The hell am I reviewing? Oh. Yeah, my desk's a mess. And it's not a mess by accident. This is a purposeful mess. Happy Halloween or October, I don't know, whatever. We are reviewing FiiO Q5s. You know what this is? Do y'all know? Unplug this first. That back end, it should have paused it. Did it pause it? I unplugged it. Yep, it did. Oh, the volume's way down. All right, so DD Hi-Fi case, by the way. This is awaited. This is long awaited for me, because here is the FiiO Q5, not S, in the FiiO branded case. And this was my workhorse for the longest time. This is my default. This is, oh, you want to be out and about and you want a portable amp, a portable DAC amp. Bluetooth, you say? Oh, this and done. And I actually took this to CanJam at one point. I forget where it was. Or was this, maybe it wasn't CanJam, maybe this was RMAF 2 years ago? Point is, it's ideal. It's bulky, it's big, it's powerful, it's been replaced by this, which is bulky and big and powerful again. And they look fucking remarkably similar. Old, new. Old one had a USB charger here on the side that the new one does not have, because it was weird because it had two. Because this base, which is the amplifier, because these have swappable amplifiers, has one, and so why would you need two? Why would you have to charge it through that? And this was okay. So let's ditch that. They went, instead of white lettering on silver, they went with black lettering on silver, probably an improvement. The fascia is again black instead of white. Instead of a high-res actual sticker, they fucking laser etched it onto my goddamn thing. This edge here is still sharp as, like, it's too sharp. Like right here, I forgot how sharp it was on this, but it's still sharp here. Whatever that machining is, stop it. This side, instead of having a DSD light, we now have 4 light ups to show what you're using as far as inputs go. Big change. Old one, here's the power button and the volume knob. New one, no power button. It's an input switch. The power is when you click the scrolling volume down all the way, it goes click to turn off. So that's the biggest change in the unit. I find that as a good change because you used to be able to turn this volume all the way down and let this thing die in your pocket. And now you turn the volume all the way down and then you go click and then it's off. Top, almost identical. The old one actually had a much nicer looking circles or machine bits around the plugs. But the plugs are the same thing. Line out, optical coaxial line in, optical coaxial line in on both of them. Your gain switch, high-low, your bass switch on-off. That's essentially it. I wouldn't blame you if you mistake them in public. Like, hey, what's that? Which one's that? Okay, the high-res sticker will definitely give this away. So what did they improve, Zeos? What did they make better from the thing that was your benchmark? Everything. The DAC chip's been upgraded. The power supply's been upgraded. The amplifier module that comes with it has been upgraded. This is like 60% more unit. More unit. And now here's the thing. Let's get this out of the way first. This has an amplifier module called the AM5. This was the high power one that sucks a little more life out of the battery, but it doesn't have balance. It was just 3.5mm. And this is the stock power supply amplifier module, the AM3E on this. So you get 3.5mm, 2.5mm, and 4.4mm. They make a THX module It's about $150. It's not currently available for sale anywhere, and I'm waiting for FiiO to send me one for now like 3 months. FiiO, the company that makes this, can't get me one. So good fucking luck. But the question is, do you need it? Like, do you need that THX module? Do you need to spend another $150? Because this thing rocks all on its own. Like, it's a blatant upgrade in clarity and precision in the way it handles things and the codec usage over that. So we've got a couple other things laid out in this table. We got 4 things laid out in this table. We're not going to turn on the old Q5. In fact, it might end up in a yard sale. Check out the Patreon. $5 tier gets you into the yard sale, which if I have to sell something, and I never thought I'd sell this thing, but if I do, $5 patrons get to bid on it. Not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the other things. Because for $400, I think that's the price. I have all the tabs for these items open. And always, you could check out Hi-Fi Guides and the forum on Hi-Fi Guides, linked in the description. If you want to talk about any of these things instead of in YouTube comments, we have a real nice forum. So where is the M11? So there is the M11. $450. I should probably tell you the price of this. $350. It's not chump change. This isn't, if you're one of those people who's just like, hey, I get on the bus and I want to power my my $50 ZS10s or my I was gonna say Bravo Cupids because I'm thinking about Blonde BL03s. Yeah, okay. I want to power those a little better. You're probably not going to step all the way the fuck up to a $350 piece of hewn aluminum in your pocket. You're a little crazier if you're watching this video and you're actually interested in this. So $350 is like, it's a chunk of money. But, where are we? $450 is what you get this with. So now, this is the non-pro M11, also in a DD Hi-Fi case, which, by the way, this one is gorgeous. This case is fucking... Now, this is a full-on player. And the reason I have this out, like, Zeus, why are you comparing this Bluetooth dedicated? It's not just Bluetooth. You can plug in USB to your phone. But I'm assuming a lot of you are going with that convenience factor. That phone right now is connected to this, and it's playing music, and Beck comes out of headphones. I'm okay with Bluetooth 4, Bluetooth 5. Oh, they upgraded the Bluetooth codec in the new one over the old one as well. The reason this is up is because you can put this in a mode that allows it to talk to your phone, just like this does. So it's a little bit bigger. It isn't quite as powerful as this. And you can't swap the module. But you got a full fuck screen and infinite sleep time. I do that, it'll last for 1,400 hours or something. So this is just here because this can do... FiiO is starting to make products that repeat on themselves. Like, yeah, you can get this, but you can also get this for like a little bit more money, $100 more. But it's a full 2 micro SD card portable player with a screen, and it'll do everything this does, but you can't change it out the module. So if you want a THX, then you got to go and spend $650 for the M11 Pro, which makes that even $50 more than the module for this. So you'd spend $350 plus $150 would be $500 for a portable, but you don't have a screen. So it's like wallpaper. The other 2 things that are out here are my Frankenstein. This is the Monolith THX portable. You can see the beautiful screen. Ooh. And this doesn't have Bluetooth built in. Instead, I've got that, which is the Ear Studio ES100, which is that amazing balanced DAC amp Bluetooth receiver, which has an app that you could run and you could change EQ settings and fader and all sorts of voltage adjustments. So take this thing, which I didn't open the tab for. I think it's like 300. Is it 300? 325? Take this, which is one of the most spectacular portable amps you can get. Stick a 100 or 75. You can get the FiiO BTR3 if you really didn't want all the features, but for $20 more. You spend $100 on this. You spend $300 on this. Now we're back to $400. I've got a 1/4-inch adapter attached to the side because I'm Zeos. And now you've got THX portable Bluetooth, and the DAC, this is fucking solid. And now we've got like, okay, that's an option. That's an option. Also wired with Hart audio cables. He told me to wait till the end of the month. I think we're going to be probably closer on there because he is filling in some gaps in the headphone market. I'll discuss his cables and setup a little bit more. But I want to get to the last setup on this table, which is just the fucking X2O XDO 5 Plus. The new one. The making the hunk of chunks even chunkier than the hunk of chunks I'm building. Like this is the unit. The whole unit. And nothing but the unit. Ugh. Now I have this here plugged in fiber optic because I run out of Bluetooth things. But you can spend $260 on this. So everything so far has been pretty expensive. $260 for this bastard. And then if you can find it, because it used to be on Amazon, now it's not, here's the Bluetooth module that plugs into the back, which makes this hunk of chunk of burning love even hunk of chunkier. Obviously it goes in there, but this is a 1 watt per channel fucking amp with swappable op amps, and in fact I have bursting op amps in it. So that's running off T20s. So I got T20s on this. I've got the new Abyss Diana 2s, not the Diana FiiO 2, Diana 2, which is a review coming up, running off the monolith setup. I've got my beloved Sundaras running balanced off the Q5s. And over here to my right, I've got the T60s unmodified, balanced cable, again, Hart audio, into, because you could change the end that you use, into a 2.5mm. And then just for shits and giggles, DD Hi-Fi also sent me these 2 adapters. And what these are is basically just right angle adapters for 2.5mm balanced. So you can plug a 2.5mm into a 3.5mm, and you can actually see the wiring in there. Or what I'm doing is taking a 2.5mm and right turning it into a 4.4 so that I could tuck it up against the body of this. And that's sort of nice because it lets it twist this way and this way, and that tucks it into your pocket a whole lot better. So we are ablaze with stuff. Where do we begin? Is the FiiO Q5s worth it? 100%. Right as is, out of the box, no extra modules, no add-ons, no nothing. Yes. If you came here to find out the answer, did I get to it within the first 10 minutes? God, I fucking hope so, because there's a lot to go over. Yes, this is 100% fucking worth the cost. Is it worth upgrading over the Q5 if you have one? Yes. It's worth upgrading over the Q5. It has enough, the DACs alone, I could hear it. And then the amplification is so clean, I question if the THX amp is even required. That's pretty impressive, because I have a THX right here, and I can feed it digital. I can't feed it, actually, can I feed this? Optical only, because I was saying I could use a coaxial digital of that into this, and then I have optical to tow with Bluetooth. They're still going to send me the THX module, and I will pull this out from my shelf that is filled with all the stuff, and I will test it again, and I'll compare A to B, B to A to B, and tell you if I think THX is worth it. Because that's $150. And I know I'm the generation of the fucking hype. I literally built that steam locomotive, the hype train for THX. I got 2 of them there. I got 1 of them here. I got 1 of them there. Hype! But I think everybody's looking at it now, and I think they're catching up with non-THX stuff. Because this... Alright, that's loud. Alright, if I go... So the volume control probably sits at like 7:30. That's 6 o'clock, that's 7, that's 7:30. It's where mute is. It's not playing any sounds. Puts us up to like 9, you barely hear it. I'm on high gain, by the way, Chris Sundaras and planar. Barely hear it at 9. 12, I am in Die Hard 1. Salt in the Tower, by the way. Michael Caven, great soundtrack. And then you can turn the volume all the way to fucking 4. That's down here. That's way here. That's too much. So let's put it back on low gain now. And now, like 1 o'clock, it's plenty. Plenty. Operation, real quick. This is the next track, last track, play pause, so I can pause my music. I think down is next track. Yeah, refock from... So, that's one of the things that's missing on a lot of these. This actually does have it. You have the buttons to control it back here. This has it. The buttons to control it are on it. On that unit, which, by the way, feel free to just buy that. If all of this is too big and bulky and expensive, here's $100. Look in the description for something called the Ear Studio ES100, because that is almost as far as you need to go. Like, once we start getting out of that and into strapping it to giant bricks of batteries and amplifiers, you've probably entered the Zeos zone, where your walls are going to be fucking ablaze with expensive headphones that you get to use 5 hours a year. Some of them. I still love you, babies. I lost my train of thought. The hype train of thought. You know, if you have the M11, you probably don't need the Q5s. The M11 is a clean amplifier. But if you're using it the way I'm using it, where you're just going to throw this in your pocket and you're not going to use the functionality of having this beautiful screen and having an operating system and playing and sliding to unlock and side loading apps, if you're not going to use it for the unit itself, yes, you can do everything that this can do here, except for change the amp module. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't fucking worry about it. If you got nothing, you buy this instead. That has always been my thing. When I had the X7, the FiiO portable player before this generation, because this is an exceptional piece of hardware. And it's going to get compared, by the way, I won't link it, or maybe I will, to the PAW 6000, which is a much more expensive portable with a screen, with its own operating system, is going to be compared against the M11. And it's going to be like, oh, really? Oh, really? But then again, I come back to it like, well, everyone's got a smartphone. Everyone can load FooBar, Spotify, Tidal. It's just, why would I have that or that if I can have this? And Bluetooth 5 is fucking great. Don't get lost, Zeos. Focus. Let's unplug these and let's plug in the hard ones. The hard ones being, I have T20s, I have Argons. Plug that in. Put these on. Put this gain switch to high, just, I don't have to test it. Maxed volume on high gain. That sounds decent. It's playing music. Does it have the oomph that this does? Because this is on the table because even though it's the cheapest thing here, I mean, minus just the standalone Bluetooth, this has the motherfucking oomph. 1 watt? 1 watt is a lot. If I turn this up all the way, and a big mistake. And then I compare this, which let me lower that for the next thing I plug in, to that, and I turn this on high gain with boost, I'm going to damage them. Yeah, you know, I can't take this volume past like 1 o'clock before it's like painful. And the switchable op amps makes it just a little bit warmer. I've put an op amp into that makes it a little bit warmer. And the Bluetooth module, which I said in the review wasn't the greatest, I got a replacement. It's perfect. So, will it push hard to drive headphones? Yes. At the absolute maximum, it'll push T50s. You should never need it. More importantly, then, will it push hard to drive headphones? What about your IMs? What about how clean is the amplification? Because very sensitive IMs, you plug them into something and all of a sudden you'll hear, I'm gonna kill myself. Fuck. Low gain, this volume knob, which is an analog volume knob, no scratching, no clicking, no popping, silence. The only other thing that's ever done that is the M11 and the THX. So now this, which is connected, by the way, to that computer over there via that Bluetooth sender, which is the Tautronics. Zeos, Link to Teltronics Bluetooth sender. It lit up aptX. aptX is being fed to this. Let's put this in my head for a second. Now I'm going past. That is now maxed out THX amp. Because these are not easy to drive. So let's lower that down. I'm actually going to disconnect that. And we're going to pick another plug. I got, again, Hard Audio cell. You know how silly Hard Audio is? Silly. They have this multi-kit with all these different adapters. So 4.4, 3.5 balanced, 3.5 unbalanced, fucking 4-pin XLR, 2-pin I've got in use over here. All of these, and then 1/4 inch, all of them, $75 for the set. Because they know once you buy this, you're gonna buy all their cables, which are not that expensive. Cables are like 30 bucks. So 75 plus 30, and then you can plug into every amp on earth. I hope to Christ he's ready for orders, because Hart makes good stuff. They're all Reen connectors. They actually connect. I have always been a supporter of Ursine cables. That's what this is, the one here. And he had some misfortunes, and he lost his sight, and he was behind on orders, and he's trying to straighten that out. But there's a hole in the market, and he's going to come back, and I'm going to support him again, because I love how soft his cables are. These are a little bit stiffer. But this is an excellent fucking option. So let's plug that in there now. So now we're running balanced. We'll leave it on high gain. No bass boost. Oh, I should probably talk about the bass boost. Well, I'll turn it on here and then we'll discuss it. So let's put this back on. Maxed. It's just like the T20s. Something that's hard to drive, even balanced, you're going to have to max it out. And I've heard rumors of people who actually have the THX module that it's actually not as powerful. So it'll probably be cleaner. Certainly the numbers will be cleaner. I don't know if you'll hear it. So what's the point of the THX module? You just get this, leave it alone. Oh, that low end. All right. They are telling the truth. People have said to me, make sure when you turn the bass switch on, you listen, because it's going to lower the overall volume. And it does. And I know why they're doing that, because it's going to clip if they don't, because they're pushing so much extra low end. And it's not an absurd amount. It's not like a bad amount of low end, but they're pushing the bass up. They detract everything else. So, of course, it sounds bassier. But if you're maxed volume on hard drive headphones and you put the bass switch on, you're going to lose. Just you're going to lose. You're going to get lost. It doesn't happen at low volumes. Anything but no noon doesn't sound like it does that. But you put it up, you put hard to drive, American-made crazy planars, which actually they fixed the comfort. I can't wait to review these. The comfort's actually doable. Then switching that bass switch is going to go like, we're going to lower the rest of it so you don't distort. Oh, I'm sorry, I've left this page up too long. I'm going to see her. By the way, this is the Sherlock Holmes OST, Catatonices. Catatonices? Catatonic. Yeah, okay. You could read. Y'all can read. You hold this button to switch to Bluetooth and pair because it isn't listed. Bluetooth is not listed on the input side. If I press the input, switch, or hold it down. I think I have to hold it down. Hold on. Yeah. Holding it down shows the battery. Get that. That's another feature they added over that. That had no way to show you how much the battery was. This, you hold it down and it shows you 2 bars. It's half full. When you plug it in, that's what blinks up. Reminiscent of the old Oppo Hot 2. But then when you disconnect the Bluetooth or plug any other source in, this will just show your coaxial optical line and USB, depending on what you cycle through. So you could cycle through those inputs here on this input button, but this is the one you push on for Bluetooth. So probably better that way, because you're not going to want to cycle through it and have it start looking for Bluetooth through that. Better it's this side. I'm just still upset this is so sharp. Ow. So we are back to this being the Bluetooth benchmark. This is a special case. This is Zeos loves it because power. Just Zeos loves power. He's got an insatiable love of that. And the fact that I could take argons outside and run them on a Bluetooth amp is a miracle. This is also one of the cheapest options you'll find because that's 50 and that's 260. So that's 310 out the door and kick your ass. And it's clean enough for everything I'm talking about. This, a little more neutral. Again, I have an op amp swap in that. And that's the giantest thing on the fucking earth. And it's not balanced. This is all in one. You don't have to buy any Bluetooth module. The battery lasts, well, actually the battery I brought in this probably 10 hours, 10, 12 hours, and we're at halfway. Low volume, not cranking it the entire time. Next track. And my phone changes. Oh, I do like how DD Hi-Fi changed the case a bit from the stock. This is the stock case, and here's the DD Hi-Fi case. First of all, instead of writing FiiO, they put a space there, square. A square that looks very reminiscent. Reminiscent of what, you might ask? Fucking high-res audio sticker. High-res audio sticker. Which they include, but don't put on for you. So you can just throw them in a pile over there. Just have a black square. They make the hole a little bigger so you can see the word FiiO. They put this lip up top so you don't smash the switches. And they add these loops on the back, which is for putting on your belt or shoving a wire in there. I'd probably shove like a wire in there. But you could be that guy that has this attached to your belt, giving you access on the top for track change and access to the bottom for volume. You don't have to be that guy, but you could be that guy. So I'm going to probably put this back on when I'm using it. Let's try these other headphones. Let's just unplug that. Take those off. Unplug this. Everything matches. Everything. Oh, I love the way those connectors work. Again, T60 RPs, which are T20 RPs, but running them balanced. Now, I can't go past 2 o'clock or I die. I can max out low gain, but I can't. Oh. I like you when you stay. This is a very long review of me jacking it to the unit I love. This is it. This is what Z Reviews is all about. You come here, I go, oh, this, or this, that, or just that. We are done with this. Bass test coming up. Hold on. Oh yeah. It is not like the bass boost at high volume. And these are some of the most beautiful wooden headphones ever. I'm saying that people think they're ugly. I don't know who thinks they're ugly. I'll fucking punch you. That's it. I think FiiO has done enough to this to make it worthwhile of an upgrade. Just like this, when this first came out, the first one I have it over there. The original X-Duo XDO5 had the weird plug in the back, and it like had a switches, but they changed them up. The improvements that were made from X-Duo to go from that to the Plus, 100% worth it. And the improvements made by the FiiO to go from the X5, the Q5, my bad, Q5 to the Q5s, make it worth it. And I just played dominoes with like $700 worth of stuff. The end. Is it worth it? Yes. How does it sound? Clean at low volume. Can push the things to high volume. You just got to be prepared. If you throw a bass boost on, it's not going to work as well. I don't even care if it doesn't. I was going to hold off on this review until a THX module showed up. Then I started using it. And then I didn't care. I was like, oh, fuck. I can get that out of this stock with no mod? Okay, shit. Sign me up. This is totally worth the review. As it is. Done. So links to everything on this table in some sort of order in the description. If I could find anything on Mass Drop, I'll link it there, because a lot of times Drop will have at least $50 off some things. Heart Audio provided me this cable kit for free, but why? $75 for all those heads and like $30 a wire? I can afford to pay for that. He even makes MMC X like connectors. I don't know who would run this sort of thickness of cable to an IEM. I don't know. Some people are stupid. Or brave. Or have really strong ears. So I'll link to everything. Linking to everything. And that wallpaper. Which, speaking of that wallpaper, every patron that's of $2 or higher gets every wallpaper I've ever used in a giant album, which is a good draw. $5, however, gets you into the yard sale, where, again, I will state my original Q5 will be. And I love this thing. But now I have that, so I don't need this thing. So join it, bid an odd number like $100.18. If you win, I ship for free in the United States. I probably don't have the boxes, by the way. I ship for free in the United States. If you are in Indo, Bangladesh, China, or Hong Kong, you pay half shipping. Actually, if you live in Hong Kong, I'll pay full shipping. You people need all the help you can get. So everywhere outside the U.S. except for Hong Kong has to pay half shipping. That sound good? Great. And if you want to go a little bit further, the $10 and higher tiers get you into a private Telegram chat where basically I live. And anytime I set up a desk like this, or I'm doing something cool, or something gets delivered, they know about it first. It's the behind-the-scene access tier, which I should put it as that. I do have social media. I have Instagram. I've got Twitter. But the Telegram chat is basically like here. Ready? Where are they? Where be the Telegram peoples? Let me show you what this is like. So here's a Telegram chat, and I love Telegram because I can literally go, this is a video bubble while I'm making a review. Isn't she cute? Look at these Neumanns. I love Neumanns. And then they're just going to get that, and they can play it back. And then that's what $10 people are paying for. A little less absurd than that, but if they at me, I'll answer your questions like that. Way faster than emails and Patreon messaging is horrible. And if you would like, by the way, if you made it to the end of this video, you're obviously a true fan. Would you like me to offer another service besides Patreon? I know people have a real issue with them. They have done some shady shit. I can't just up and like abandon it because it do pay for the lights. But if you want me to do Subscribe Star, or there's a couple other new ones out, please tell me in the comments and I will very much consider it. That's the end of this video before the battery in the GoPro dies because I made it extra long. Thank you for stopping by. Another review tomorrow, or maybe not, or maybe I'll live stream, or maybe not. Happy Halloween.